YouTube, Facebook, what's up? Ask Small Wedge. Man, I had a rough week this week, but still had boxing on my mind. So I decided to do a quick video about one legend that don't get enough respect. His name is Chavez. Unbelievable. You know, there's not many fighters that I can watch, let alone watch and just be amazed. Especially old fights. You know, I watch old fights as a study, but to watch an old fight and be entertained, I don't even like watching rerun movies. But to watch Chavez is like, man, it's like, to watch Floyd Mayweather is like music to my ears. It makes me feel good. To watch Chavez is like eating a candy bar. It's like, you know, I can feel it. It's like I done took some kind of drug or something, man. Chavez is just unbelievable. I mean, no doubt about it, if I put it on a scale, you know, from 1 to 10, there's nobody that does it like the boy Floyd, technically. However, the styles make fights, you know? So everybody got their respected style, you know? Floyd he can do about 2 different styles. He can box, he can counterpunch, and he can get up on his feet. He can box backwards, and he can box in the pocket, in the inside. Those two traits Floyd got. He got that inside game, nice and smooth with his blocks, and his counter punches, and he got his footwork. When he get on his footwork, it's like magic. You know, Chavez got one style, and he's the master at that style, and that's going forward. You know, and I don't rank many people higher than him. I was comparing him to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson goes forward too, and he's dangerous. And when he had that bob and weave, that customado peekaboo style, it was ruthless. I love when defense and offense come together like that. So, you know, Chavez has similar to Mike Tyson, but not the peekaboo. He's more like he uses head movement, but he goes forward. It's unique. Most people who use their head, they retreat. They're using their head to step around or circles or get out of the way. Chavez was using his head to hit you again. He moved his head like this to put himself in position to hit you again. And that is beautiful. You know, so that's called fighting going forward at its greatest factor. You know, I teach that style. When you're going forward, I have you slip a punch in order for you to put yourself in a harder position so you can hit and get closer to the opponent, not slip away. Chavez is a master at that, the best I've ever seen. He's the best at that style. Compare him to Mike Tyson, it does a little disservice, but where we going? If I was to compare him to Mike Tyson, it's only that the fact that they both never go backwards, and that's their style going forwards. Okay, some people like to compare. One time I was talking about Chavez, and they was talking about Roberto Duran. I sparred with Roberto Duran back in '96. It was getting them ready when he was gonna fight Hector Camacho. They was both older. He was 40-something years old. I remember, because I'm 40 now, and I remember they were saying he was 40 years old. I thought he was an old man, but Duran, I did about 3 rounds with him. nothing big. You know, I wasn't trying to hurt him, and he wasn't trying to hurt me. It was just a warm-up, really. But nevertheless, his style is a go-forward style, but he's not as elusive. He doesn't use his head to make you miss. He doesn't block that much to make you miss. And he doesn't have the peekaboo style. Duran is a more, you hit me and I hit you harder back. That's what Duran was about. It's just so he was so darn tough, it didn't even look like you hit Duran when you hit him. So, unlike Mike Tyson and Chavez, he was more dangerous, man to man, if that's how they're going to play the game. But when you got a slick boxer, he could beat Duran easier because a boxer going to beat a puncher, you know, because a boxer going to think of two principles or two elements to the game. He's trying to make you miss before he hit you, or he's trying to make you miss after he hit you. So Duran wasn't that kind of fighter. Duran was motivated by rhythm, you know. Whether he take the punch or not, he's coming for you. So you're in trouble when he's in your face, unless you can knock him out, which that was the only way he's going to lose, if you knock him cold out. And or you knock him cold out, or you're able to box your brains off and stay away from him, which was very hard. He had a real good game coming up on people. So Duran compared to Chavez is two different styles. But I can respect the fact that people like Duran, but he's nothing compared to J.C. Chavez. J.C. Chavez, the way I judge fighters is how they master their style, not how they master or who they beat or how good their legacy is, you know what I mean, how much they name in the media. I don't care about that. J.C. Chavez is talked about very little, and he's the greatest at what he does. And he goes forwards. He's a predator. So compared to Roberto Duran, you know, there's no comparison. Roberto can't go forward like Chavez. Now, Roberto got his own things, his own beautiful. The only thing I really like about Roberto is that he's crafty and he got rhythm. When I say he got rhythm, meaning you can't stop his momentum. Once he gets started with his momentum, the punch is coming off. And another guy like that, Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor had a beautiful rhythm. And, you know, once he get in that rhythm, he's coming. You know? But just like Roberto Duran, I would compare those two together, because just like Roberto Duran, Aaron Pryor would take a punch. Even though, no, I'm sorry, he moves a little bit more than Roberto Duran. Aaron Pryor moves his head a little bit more. That's his defense. He got a lot of rhythm, he moves his head, and he comes from different angles. He's spontaneous. That's Aaron Pryor's legacy. And he's probably the best at what he does. Okay? So you got to put everybody in perspective that way. You can't really just compare people off of the top of the head. Because boxing styles make fights, man. You got different styles. That's the problem why they won't give a lot of fighters their respect. They don't know Chavez's style. They don't know what he's doing. They need to give him his respect. You know? They try to do Floyd like that. Don't give him his respect, because they don't know nothing about the style. They don't respect it. They don't understand what he's doing. You know? Everybody understands Mike Tyson. They give him his respect because he bashed people. He knocked people out. Everybody understands that. But that's not the smartest style. That's not the best situation. You know? But he was good, though, because he mixed it up with a good defense. Roberto Duran, you can't praise him if you're thinking like me. You know, a lot of people praise him, but he's great at his style, but his style is not complete. His style is not that great. That's the dumb style. I'm not getting hit by nobody if I can help it. There's no defensive plan in Roberto Duran. His toughness, that's what his defense. And it was successful a lot of times. He beat a lot of good people. But when I grade him as a legacy, I can't put him up there like that. So that's why I like about Chavez. He had a defense, he had an offense, and his one-dimensional style was to go forward, chop you down like a tree, and by the 10th, 11th, 12th round, you're dead. You're dead. And you can't knock him out because he has his little defense and he has his movements. You know, who else they compared him to? Let me see. That's about it. So I wanted to give a shout out to JC Chavez. You know, I don't know much about him. I don't know, you know, about his character too much. He don't speak English much, so I don't really know much about him. I don't see a lot of media on him, and his son doesn't really represent for him, so I can't judge him by his son. I just want to say, man, JC Chavez is the truth, man. And if y'all don't know, I just explained it to you. So now you know. Can't say you don't know. And if you don't know, you don't want to know. Because you're slow. So let's ask my words, man. Check me out on YouTube, Defense First. Let's talk about boxing, man. Whatever. You know, I think that's about it. I wanted to talk more, but I don't know what I want to talk about. Let me see. Let's see. About JC Chavez. I will say that Chavez, his style and the way he do every fighter is so beautiful, man. It's instrumental. He start off slow. You know, he start chopping you to the body. He chop you from the body to the head, to the head, to the body. He starts stepping forward more and more, and he goes slow. So he's not rushing you. So you get a chance to throw your punches. And you either burn yourself out because you're hitting his hard head, or you missing because of his rhythm. And then he start hitting you, and you start realizing, and your corner start realizing you're really hurt. You're not just losing because you can't hurt this guy, but you're really hurt. Not just hurt like losing on points, or you mentally frustrated. You're hurt. Your insides are hurt. You're bleeding inside. Your nose is broke. Your jaw is broke. Your teeth are starting to fall out. Chavez is like AIDS of boxing. He's killing people. Killing them. And the only way you're going to survive with him is go to sleep or keep fighting. Do like, I can name at least 10 fighters that kept boxing them and outboxed them. And like, look at my man, Meldrick Teller. You know what I'm saying? Meldrick Teller come from my hood. Look how Meldrick Teller, he boxed the heck out of Chavez, because a boxer beats a puncher any day. He boxed the heck out of Chavez. But guess what? By the time he got to the 10th, 11th round, he had a flat tire. His hubcaps came off. His nuts on his wheels was calling off. His doggone engine was failing. He needed water. He was dying. That's JC Chavez, man. I don't know why y'all sleeping on him. Y'all need to put this man in a legacy. Peace.